welcome to another episode of Motivation Monday. My name is Tori Gadd, training director, motivational speaker. I'm joined here again today with my great guest, James Colazzo. And man, I want to pump you guys up and share some things with you. It's some exciting news about being back in school after COVID. All right, and so you got COVID there. So we're going to talk about you guys making a comeback. And if you've seen in sports, when there's a comeback happening, the first thing that happens is someone starts off sluggish, and then in the middle of that thing, there's this wake up that's like, hey, we in the middle of something. We're in the middle of life. Well, you're in the middle of school. School is happening, and now you got to make this comeback and mentally, emotionally. Maybe you're not behind in your grades. Maybe you're not behind in any of your studying, but you're behind emotionally. You're behind mentally, and just now you're dragging behind, and the points are racking up against you. Like, this is so boring. This is awful. I'm sitting here. But I want to encourage you to start making that comeback and start in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, start coming back to, hey, this is my academics, this is my future, this is my life, and I'm not going to let COVID or virtual learning interrupt what I'm capable of doing, what I've set in my life to do. You have goals, you have opportunities, you have everything that is set in front of you. And so you look at this thing, and you got to put the two things that I tend to say a lot. It's either going to be your example or your excuse. What was my example was that I let that COVID hit me, and I let the virtual learning hit me, and then I didn't push through. Then I made an excuse. So we don't want to have any excuses. We want to be those good examples to say you're going to make a comeback. You're about to take the lead in your life. You're going to take that lead and just go forward and say, hey, I'm going to make this the absolute best. As teachers as well, everyone's having to come back together. It's all of us as growing in this area, me as a speaker, being online, James as a speaker, seeing people when you can't be in front of them face to face, you're having to make sure you're as excited as the message that you're trying to give them. And so look at this. No matter how far behind you feel, realize you're still right on schedule. And that's the thing you got to remember first. You're not as far behind as you think you are.
Yeah.
You are really right there. And so as you begin to make this comeback to say, I'm going to have the best field for the rest of 2020 and into 2021 ever, and this is going to be my school year. I'm going to make sure I have everything I have in place to win. I'm going to come all the way back. Seniors especially, it's your senior year. This is your senior year. It's not going to be defined by COVID. It's going to be refined because of COVID, and you're going to refine your abilities, refine your goals, start looking at what you're going to be doing throughout this entire year. Every award is right in front of you. The award of academics, the award of athletics, the award of just being a good person. And as we said last week with mentoring, man, your little palees cannot wait to be a part of your life, whether it's virtual or whatever it may be. They're excited, and now you got to make that comeback where it's not just like you're faking it. But you're all the way back and into it. So that's my opening. I'm gonna throw my pass over to young James Colazzo, and he's gonna share.
All right. Well, listen. One of the things that I really was excited about when he opened up today is that he was talking about how we have to get the right mindset as we get going in the morning, and that's so good. You know, we think about the new beginning opportunity that we have because of COVID, and there's this thing I talk about it a lot, is that you don't have to change anything, and everything can change if you just change your perspective. If you just get your mind right. You know, I'm a big Rocky fan. I got all the movies. I like all of them, past, present, and the future ones. I'll tell you right now in advance. But one of the things that I always love is that there's always a comeback story in Rocky. And when you start, you know what's going on whenever you start hearing, like you know it's about to get hype. It's so good. I don't know what's going to happen, but you know, birds are going to start flying, or he's going to pick up a chain and he's going to start beating the ground, and just all kind of, you know that something good is about to happen. I would even encourage you. There was a season in my life where I would wear, and you might laugh, but I would wear a Superman t-shirt as my undershirt. Because at the season that I was at in my life, I needed that extra encouragement. And man, I would literally walk around sometimes, man. I'd go take a break and I'd open that shirt up and look at it, man. I'm telling you, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But Those things are what can set you apart and get you ahead, because everybody goes through failure, but it's not really failure if you use it as a stepping stool to get you to your victory. Switch!
And that's part of our big thing. We did several speeches, or actually when I first started, I do these things on the making of a champion. You have a championship to defend, and your championship is you won last year, you won the year before, you won the year before that, you won, and you're like, what did I win? Well, you win moving to the next level and moving to the next grade. And so you're the champion. It doesn't matter what the score is. A champion is a champion, an absolute winner, an absolute go-getter. And as you begin to set yourself up to come back, and again, you got excited about coming back to school or coming back, and then that lull hits, and then you start trailing again. But no, you're on your comeback to be restored. That's why people like January so much. Start over. They love starting over.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all about finishing. You know,
Yeah.
Anybody can start, but it takes discipline to finish. And I've always wanted that discipline to finish. So the making of your championship and everything I've ever showed you guys know I'm all about grab your left wrist with your right hand and pull your hand up on over your head. Because if there's no one else around to declare yourself declare you a champion, sometimes you have to declare yourself a champion. You have to have your Superman shirt on. It's I'm winning today no matter what. And you begin to just break through with this time of COVID. Your teacher needs your support as much as you need their support. As you guys begin to build each other up, this is going to be the part that's going to be the big increase and going to be the big thing that comes up. And I think even in my own family life, and losing my last brother that was murdered, that was something I had to make a comeback, because I was spiraling quickly. And even though I made this promise to my mother that she'd never have to cry over me the way she had to cry over him, I had to make a comeback in the sense of I had to get my mentality correct. I had to get my mindset back on what I wanted to do, what I wanted to become. I couldn't just spend my life trying not to be something. I need to be headed somewhere. And so sometimes when we're so busy trying I don't want to do anything, I don't want to move. Well, you may not do anything wrong, but you're not doing anything right either. And so in order to get that goal moving forward, to get that train going again, start motivating yourself. Jump up in the morning, scream. I'm a morning person. I love being up in the morning, love running in the dark, screaming. And I love it because I know I wake up. I survived the night before. You are an absolute champion. You're undisputed. You're undefeated. And that means that no matter what the score looks like mentally and emotionally and academically, you have got catch up in you. You've got a comeback in you that's going to come back and make this the best year ever. You're going to just understanding you guys are leaders and mentors and helpers and not just surviving, you're thriving in the aspects of life. And so we're calling this the greatest comeback ever for class of 2021, where it looks like you were defeated, buried, and put underground, but here you come rising up. You're not the walking dead, you're the walking alive, and you're starting to go and pull yourself together and say, we're going to lead. Now you take that comeback, and this little one that you're helping, this little one that you're working with, who may have been in an abused home, who may have been hurt, may have been abandoned and left out, when they see you and realize that, man, there's the comeback, that's what I'm looking for, that dynamic begins to grow on them. And so I am excited to hear every one of your stories, every one of the things that you came back from, everything that was set up against you, but you kept rising and kept showing up and kept showing up and kept showing up, and now you're showing out. It's going to be great. So we thank you for it. It's Gant Speaks. Collazo here. We're going to be sharing. We're going to keep coming back. That's our thing, is to come back. And so we'll see you next week. Thank you guys. Have a great year.